Ha ha ha! Hello everyone. It is Dr. Sasheen here, the Metaphysical Goddess. For those of you who are new to this page, it's windy here today, so it's the thing. My girls are doing their own thing today. So, it is Dr. Sasheen here, your divorce mindset energy coach, coming to you live. It's been a while. The holidays came and went, and they're kind of still rolling. Happy holidays to everybody. There's so many holidays, I'm not going to even try to list them all, so happy whatever you celebrate. So today's brief message back from my brief hiatus is to let your yeses be yeses and let your no's be no's. And what do I mean by that? So what I'm talking about is this concept where people, especially women, have a tendency to say yes to everything, even stuff that brings them way more pain than pleasure. And so the title of this particular brief talk is When No Brings You Pleasure and Yes Brings You Pain, Always Say No. No is a complete sentence. It requires no explanation and it requires no communication. No, period, is a declarative statement that carries its own weight and its own meaning. What I want people to start thinking about, especially if you're in a relationship where things are not going well and you have conditioned yourself to say yes even when it hurts you, you are not doing yourself any favors by making that your kind of default status. When yes is your default status to everything, whether it's painful for you or pleasurable for you, then you have lost your boundaries. You've lost yourself in the people pleasing or the relationship pleasing or the capitulation phase of a relationship. And there are many, many, many people who have lost the ability to say no and not have it be the end of their world. So let me explain this to you. Sometimes no is the most pleasurable thing that you can do for yourself. It may not be the most pleasurable thing that you can do for other people, but no can be the most pleasurable, the most satisfying, the most joyful, and the most uplifting thing that you can do for your sanity, for your children, for your marriage. And yes, in fact, can be the most painful, the most debilitating, and the most soul-shattering thing that you can do for yourself, for your children, or for your marriage. Sometimes we say yes because we are keeping the peace. Sometimes we say yes because we are afraid if we say no of the ramifications of standing our ground. Sometimes we say yes because we don't have the wherewithal or the foundation to honor our no, so we just say yes because it's easier. When yes is painful, it's wrong. Let me say that again. When the yes is painful and the no would bring you more pleasure or just bring you relief, always, always, always say no. Now, somebody is going to get on here or watch this video and send me a message and it's going to say, but Dr. Sasheen, sometimes you have to say yes in a relationship to things that you don't like. I'm not talking about saying yes to the in-laws that you don't like, but you know you have to say yes to them because they're your in-laws and you don't want to piss your spouse off. I'm not talking about that. Unless saying yes to those in-laws is in fact debilitating your relationship, in which case you need to learn how to say no. I have many a horror story of relationships that are hanging on by a thread because the in-laws have dictated how that relationship is going and not the people, because the couple can't say no to the in-laws. That's when your no should be bringing you pleasure. Your no sets your boundary. Your no puts your line in the sand that says you don't get to cross here. This is my no. You don't get to cross it. Stop saying yes to things that bring you pain. Stop saying, unless you like pain, in which case, keep saying yes to things that bring you pain. But if you don't actually like pain, and you don't like discomfort, and you're sick to death of being sick to death, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and what you really want to say is, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fight like this. You know, Tina Turner has this amazing song that when I was going through my divorce, when I was thinking about my divorce, I played her song, I Don't Really Want to Fight, over and over and over again. And what I realized is by saying no to the drama of that relationship and beginning to say no to the Cold War that I was living, to say no to the things I didn't want to do because they were bringing me down, and they were literally stealing the life out of me. By owning the fact that the no would bring me more pleasure than the yes, I began to free myself from the shackles of needing to say yes to everything. You cannot live in a relationship with anyone if the yes always brings you pain. You cannot do that. If the yes brings you pain 90% of the time, then I am simply a phone call away. And if it's not me, it's a divorce attorney. If it's not a divorce attorney, it's a marriage counselor. Because the yes can't hurt all the time. And for too many people, yes hurts more times than it doesn't. That's because they have lost the power to say no. And when you've lost the power to say no in your relationships, of all places, where you should be safe enough to stand your ground and own your truth and say no to things that bring you pain, but instead you say yes to things that bring you pain, when you've lost the power to say no, you've really lost your relationship. It's just a matter of time. So, in the Cold War, in the standoff, in the feud, in the fighting, learn to say no and get pleasure back in your life. And learn to say no when you know it's the best thing for you. And learn to say no and honor where you are. And stop saying yes to the things that bring you pain. All right, that's it for today. I really hope everyone's having a good holiday season. I know it can be very stressful with all the responsibilities, and this is like the crunch time towards the end of the year. Take a moment, take a deep breath, get yourself centered, really think about what you want to manifest and bring about in your life in the next year, in the new year. For those of you who are watching this broadcast who have wanted to work with me, I have a new program starting in January called Fear to Freedom. 12 weeks of getting your mind right, your energy right, and your life right to have the life that you want after divorce. If you're interested in that, drop me a line here or DM me or send me an email at support@sashimobi.com. Space will be limited. Pre-sale starts January 1. I'll be talking about it all the month of December, so don't you worry, you'll hear more and more about it. But Fear to Freedom. We're going to get you focused on the life that you want. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day. As always, I am here to serve you. Take care. Bye now.